I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a damn clue where the Chesapeake Bay is. I'm gonna say it's in Massachusetts. That's my guess. Massachusetts. Virginia? Really? No shot. I don't even know how to spell Chesapeake. Chesapeake Bay, an estuary in the United States, in the mid-Atlantic region, eastern shore of Virginia and the eastern shore of Maryland and the state of Delaware. How about that? How do you say Potomac? I know how to say Potomac, bro. You're trying to troll me. Now here's a question for you, American. How do you say fucking Gananoque, bro? How do you say Cataraqui Town Center? How do you say Kejimakujik? How do you say Kappas Casing, motherfucker? How do you say Petawawa? Yeah. I don't think so. You stick to Coeur d'Alene and Rancho Cucamonga, all right? You can meet me in Bob Cajun just a little after 9. They would get fucked up at Algonquin Park. They'd have no fucking idea what to do, man. Any movie watches on the horizon? No, I want there to be, but I think it's gonna, like, I think I'm gonna keep a paper list of stuff I wanna watch. And then, like, maybe when my daughter's like 8 or 9, she'll go to camp. And then I'll spend like a month just going down the list, man. One Bandle after another is good. It's the first time hearing about it. Now that I know that the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie is good, I'll go see it because that was the only thing stopping me. I was just trying to. I've been asking people for weeks, hey, is this movie any good? And they say, hey, fuck you. I haven't seen that shit. My roommate said K-pop Demon Hunters clears. Your roommate is crazy. They're probably like an engineering student, right? Engineering, software engineering, computer programming, computer engineering. That's not a humanities head roommate. Civil engineering, same. I said what I said. I fucking said what I said. It did slap though. K-pop Demon Hunters, yeah, it's fine. I don't hate it. I gave it a 4. I gave it a 4 out of 5, not out of 10. Wasn't K-pop kind of mostly not nice to the performers? Yeah, but like, unless you work in the industry, I mean, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't care, but I'm saying that these are animated characters. So rather than virtue signaling and being like they don't treat the singers nicely, you should be more concerned about the animators who they probably had in like 115-degree Fahrenheit heat boxes trying to pump out the last little bit of animation so the movie could make it on a Netflix for the first day of summer. Folk rock Demon Hunters where Bob Dylan seals the Han Moon by going electric. Yeah, and then the people in the audience are the demons. And he's going, I don't believe you. And then he says, play it fucking, it's on Netflix. Play it freaking loud. Play it freaking loud. And the boiler in the basement blew. And you get the fucking demons are, thinking he was the Soviet ambassador. Could be sweet, man. Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night. No! Bob, no! Daddy, chill. Finish the song? That's probably why he hasn't played it in like 30 years, man. Which of the 4 Beatles movies are you looking for? Nah, man, I know that the Ringo bio is going to be a movie. George? You don't even need to wait for the George Harrison documentary. Just watch Joker. Bro's out here like, maybe I'll be the best guitar player in England. Like, shut the fuck up, George! Shut up, George! Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I have to admit, it's getting better. A little bit. George, can you quiet down on that electric guitar a little bit? Cut that loud mess out, George. We need you on rhythm for this one. I used to be rude to my woman. John, you can't say that shit, man. John and Bob, chill out. Is Paul McCartney Trump anything? No. I was thinking, what about Deep Rock Galactic Trump, though? Rockin' Stone, Chiblee, Rockin' Stone. Rockin' Stone, Chiblee, Rockin' Stone. Could work. I don't know anything else about Deep Rock Galactic. The only thing I know is that if you play it once, you spend the rest of your life telling streamers to play it forever. And anytime anything about it gets mentioned, you go, Rockin' Stone, Chiblee, Rockin' Stone, very rock. Nobody mind, very rock, very sad, very stone, Chiblee, Rockin' Stone. I don't know how long we're going to do ball pit. We're going to do some ball. Oh my God, it's the greatest day of my life. Slash marker, dolls. Guys, the movie is Spider-Man 1. I don't care who you are. That's Spider-Man 1. This is the second that The Green Goblin breaks into Aunt May's bedroom, bro. Look at it. What is it? A minor spelling mistake? What's it called? aLittleTomfoolery. That's it. Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man, bro. What? It's not Spider-Man? Is it this looks like it's shot like the Virgin Suicides. Or Bridesmaids. Stranger Things? It's Jacob's Ladder type shit, man. This is Silent Hill. I mean, I saw Jacob's Ladder like 3 months ago, and this was not in it. But, oh, it's one of these Nightmare on Elm Street. Let me see top guesses. Really? Nobody clocked this as Spider-Man on the first shot, man? I mean, it's very... Can you post the emote? The emote is really close. I'm realizing the shot is kind of like mirrored, but apart from that, it's pretty close, man. I don't understand the use case of this emote. Can you fill me in? Okay, Craig David. If you see an explosion in a video game, which if you haven't seen one, wait 3 seconds probably, depending on what you're playing, and then you just post that. You see an explosion, you post an explosion. It's that simple. It's echolalia. The Carnival is a minivan produced by this car brand. I'm going to be honest with you. If it's not a Chrysler Pacifica, I don't give a fuck. The Carnival? Chevy Carnival. Dodge Carnival. Chrysler Carnival. Kia Carnival? Kia Carnival? Nominative determinists be like, oh yeah? Explain the Kia Carnival then. It's that simple. That's Jeremy Piven and Matt LeBlanc. But it kind of just looks like Matt LeBlanc. Like, it kind of looks a lot like Matt LeBlanc, to be honest with you. Interesting. Let me think about... I'm thinking about... These are types of desserts. Apple crumble, apple tart, apple crisp, apple cobbler. Or maybe they're all peach. I don't know. We're more of an apple country up here. Fruit desserts. There you go. Skate. Letter plus a person's name. C. Ross. S. Kate. F. Luke. Oh, P. Rickley. P. Ike. You think, bro? You think? Oh, come on. So we had this. These are types of fish. Another type of fish is a split. No, another type of fish is char, Arctic char. Yeah, that makes sense. How crazy is it that 3 of the fish also are person's name plus 1 letter at the front? That's a unique bit of serendipity, if I may say so myself. And then I don't know what this would be. Banana, that makes a lot of sense. You're a smart guy, but you're dressed like a 4-year-old today. It's confusing. It's that give and take that makes people interesting. You know what I've started to do as well? I've started to become a character instead of rounding off my sharp edges just to fit seamlessly into society and pass through the digestive tract of the world like something wrapped in olestra, like a baked Lay's, for example. I no longer do, like if I let somebody in traffic, like let's say traffic's like a little fucky and someone's trying to turn left, and I could drive through the intersection at 1 kilometer an hour and try to squeeze my car like a millimeter away from the one in front of me just to be 7 feet ahead, but really inhibit the person who's trying to turn left perpendicular to me. I hit the brakes a little early, and then I give them a little signal, and then they give me a wave. I don't wave back. You know what I do? Peace sign. I'm peace sign Andy now. Why? Just an extra little wrinkle, right? It's more surface area for the character profile. Now they're not like, oh, he gave me a wave. They're like, what's up with peace sign guy? It raises some questions, right, about peace sign guy. What's up with peace sign guy? Maybe he's British. Maybe he's a hippie. Who knows? You're literally weird. I know, it's cool. Say XXX Temptation has more than cocaine. How to tie a tie. I think that's going to have more, man. Lots of people go into their Sadie Hawkins dances. I'm going to say 9/11. 9/11 has less searches than how to tie a tie. Can I? I'm not necessarily suggesting you're wrong. I would like to see a source. I would just like to see, there should be a little clickable footnote that's like, here's the proof. And you shouldn't resent me for asking for proof unless you're hiding something. Just a little footnote. Just a little footnote. We're old? I don't know what you mean by that. Like, we're old so we remember it? But like, there's even more young people though. Don't they have to Google it to figure out like what happened? But the thing is, I'm crashing out because people are like, I don't need to know anything about 9/11. Yeah, but how many times do you have to Google how to tie a tie? You just do it, and then you're like, okay, it's easy. I'll give it to you right now. I don't even wear a fucking tie to work, although it might be nice. You put it on, skinny end on your left. I'm mirrored right now. Skinny end on your left. About twice as much of the fat end. Maybe it goes down, touches the tip of your dick, okay? Then you go fat over skinny. Wait a second. Yeah, fat over skinny. Then you're going to go fat end upside down through the loop that you just made. Then you're going to wrap it around, and that's going to make a little sleeve. And then you're going to put the fat end through the sleeve, and you're going to tighten it with the skinny end, and you're good to go. Now, you could maybe get a better knot than that, but that's good enough for like your 10th grade dance or whatever. Gorillaz Mog's Audio Slave. 4-in-hand ass knot. MGK, maybe Mog's Audio Slave. Now we're fucking talking. 97. I was in like probably the 4th grade. Sony Pictures. This is like Titanic year. I might have been in the 3rd grade. Pre-Titanic, starring Jennifer Love Hewitt. I Know What You Did Last Summer. No. October. Okay, is it a horror movie? It is. Okay, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Low key though, I was talking to Kate about this last night. Obviously, like, they shouldn't have done that shit last summer. But I bet that I haven't seen the movie. I bet they were fucking so good of friends after this shit happened. Because, like, I've got some trauma bonding with friends of mine from, like, high school and with college. And we didn't even, like, hit a dude with our car or anything like that. So I bet, like, after this happened, they were like, that was fucked up. But years later, they were like, I'll never have another summer like that with friends that close. Because as you grow up, you know, you just drift apart a little bit. Keanu Reeves, 97, pre-Matrix, post-Dracula, post-Speed, and he's not in Speed 2. This could be the devil's advocate. That's big. He's never lost a case, but he's about to lose his soul. Al Pacino's the devil in that movie, just so you know. Morgan Freeman stars in the movie from 1997, post-Driving Miss Daisy, post-Shawshank. It's a thriller. It's a Long Came a Spider. Along Came a Spider, maybe. No. The Pelican Brief. What are you? Smart Girls, Pretty Girls, Missing Girls. There's also a movie, I don't know anything about it, but I think it came out around this time. It's called Kiss the... I don't know. My grandparents own this on VHS. I've never seen it, but I've seen the cover. I've seen the cover, and it's fabulous, kind of. It's giving Prometheus movie poster vibes, but... Did you take the limitless pill for movies? Get it twisted. If you eat 3,000 calories a day of dried fruit and nuts, supplemented with other meals throughout the day, you too can have this power. You might not be worse at remembering things than me. You might just be hungry. You might just be a little bit hungry, to be honest. Kevin Kline movie, 1997. It's called In and Out. This movie has been memory hold, but if you're my age, this was like an insanely popular film. Like that if you were not alive, you're probably like, how did you know this so fast? If you were alive, you're like, yeah, bro, it's In and Out. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. It made $63 million in 1997. That takes it now to like, I don't know, it's probably over $100 million. That's a blockbuster, bro. Great movie. What was it about? So I saw it once in probably 1998, if I had to guess. Kevin Kline is like a high school drama teacher. And then one of his students wins an Oscar, and during his acceptance speech, he thanks Kevin Kline for giving him the courage to come out as gay. Because Kevin Kline, as the teacher, was like the first openly gay man that he knew. Only, here's a twist, Kevin Kline in the movie is not gay. So he's trying to figure out how to handle this. He's trying to figure out, what should I do? Because now everybody in my home life who watched the Oscars, which was everybody in 1997, thinks that he just got outed, but he's not gay. Sounds amazing. They used to make comedies, is the thing. They used to make comedies. It's a good movie. I should see it again. I haven't seen it. I mean, I haven't seen it since I was 9. So I have to imagine there's probably a lot of shit that went over my head. And it's been 26 years or something since I've seen it. But is he an Edmonton, Toronto, or Montreal fan? I'm unsubbing. Least fickle. First off, most intuitive hockey fan in chat. Secondly, least fickle Canadian hockey fan. I mean, who are you even rooting for at that point? If you hate Edmonton, Montreal, and Toronto, you're like a Senators Flames fan. Pick a struggle, bro. Jets are in no position to be hating on anybody. They should still just be happy to be here. They're a Blackhawks fan? No shot, because they would have said he's not a St. Louis Blues fan, is he? They don't know what they're talking about, man. The Sens are not trash. They're just not looking so good right now because their best player is out for a month with like a broken heart.
Dissemble, a verb meaning to hide under a false appearance. Dissemble comes from
It couldn't be anything else, but I don't think I've ever heard of it.
nouveau, an adjective meaning newly arrived or developed. Refectory, a noun meaning a dining hall, as in a monastery or college. Refectory comes from
Huge. We're using a lot of intuition on this one.
brume, a noun meaning mist, fog. Bruma is French for mist, derived from
Ow! That's not broom! It's UME. Oh.
erythroblast, a noun meaning a polychromatic nucleated cell of red bone marrow that synthesizes hemoglobin, and that is an intermediate in the initial stage of red blood cell formation. Broadly, a cell ancestral to red blood cells. The term originates from globally recognized scientific terminology and vocabulary. Erythroblast, a noun meaning a polychromatic nucleated.
Huge. That's huge.
Prestidigitation, a noun meaning sleight of hand. Sojourner, a verb meaning to stay.
Dude, I'm really pleased with the performance today. If I may say so, I'm really pleased with the performance. We didn't get a perfect score, but there were some pulls there, is all I'm going to say. Diet soda hasn't got you yet. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm off the Coke Zero. Why hesitate? But I'm going to say. All I'm going to say is people read the abstract. They don't even look at the methods or anything like that. They just look at the conclusion and go, here's the reason it isn't real. And I'm like, what did you did? This is why we need to make 2 stats classes prerequisites, man. Because you go into Stats 101 and you're like, I trust all science. And then you leave Stats 101 and you're like, never trust any science. But if you did Stats 201, you would be like, I actually trust most of the science, or at the very least, I understand that the purpose of my role is not to just look at the abstract and be like, here's a reason it could be wrong. You have to go through the results and replicate it, or at least, find an error in the methodology. You can't just look at it and be like, there's probably something here that's like, there's confounding factors. Especially if you are fucking posting about your sleep score, or you have a fucking Oura ring on or something like that. You can't be, I hate pseudoscience. By the way, my sleep score last night was 91. Yippee! Yippee! Dan doesn't believe you're done with CZ? He should, honestly. First off, caffeine, addictive. But the level of caffeine in diet soda, not enough to be an effective dose. Now, that's pseudoscience, but it's true because I have a sample size of 1, and it's me. And you might say, that's not a big enough sample size. Wrong! Stats 101, Andy. I'm doing a fucking 36-year longitudinal study. My sample size is 1, but the breadth of information that I have is incalculable. The bandwidth is limitless. Essentially. No, there's no diet soda. We went out for dinner last night. I'll have water, thanks. If they had some sparkling water, that would be nice, but they oftentimes don't. Caffeine tolerance. Caffeine is a real habit, okay? But there's not enough in a Coke Zero to cause a dose response. And I know it because as soon as I read the study, I went, well, I'm not drinking that shit anymore until I get more information. And I just fucking tanked it. And nothing changed. Nothing changed. It's still a vice. Well, it would be. Last week I didn't think it was a vice. Now that I've seen the study, I would consent that it's plausibly a vice. Is there an adjective for vice? It's vice-like. It's not a vice. It might be a vice if it causes tau protein entanglements in your brain at an increased rate. I would consider that to be vicey. Now, the study is not. It's just one study. It's got 4 citations, but I'm off the pen until I see more data. Let's put it that way. And now we've circled right back because you're going to say one study. Is it peer reviewed? It was published in Neurology, bro. So like that's one of the biggest journals in science. So the odds are probably no, based on the credibility crisis that's going on in academia right now. That being said, the risk of the tau protein entanglements versus the reward of a tasty drink, I'm willing to take the calculus on the conservative side there. Maybe we should just drink water and eat only bread. Apollo, don't do that. Don't do that. Because everyone's like, I trust the science. I trust the science. Until the science says something that I don't like, in which case, everything's bad for you. We're all going to die. Yeah, we're all going to die, but I don't want to be 60 and have 36% more tau protein entanglements in my brain. It's not a longevity thing. I especially considering that, it was talking about verbal fluency and shit like that. I got to protect that, man. I don't have that much left to lose. And this is my domain. This is my industry. I'm probably eating way too many carbohydrates a day. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a hedonist, but I'll eat some deep fried food and eat some French fries and stuff like that. But I'm not fucking around with tau protein entanglements. And if it comes out in 6 years that study is fucked up and they made it all up just so that they could get tenure at whatever Brazilian university they work for, I'll just drink 5 times as much Coke Zero to make up for the time lost. No harm, no foul, bro. Dan is appalled. Dan is appalled that I'm trusting the science. Holy shit. I lost them all last night. I lost them all last night and I got them all back. I got them all back with my fucking spiel. It feels so good. I can feel the power pulsing through my fucking veins right now. That's crazy, man.
Ryan Gary just said he's done with CZ. You better clip that because I don't believe there's a lot of. He would never say that. This is huge if true, man. Because he's the one that always told me, don't worry about its effects on you. So this could be earth-shattering right here. I'm just saying right now, this could be earth-shattering. So there's one person that convinced me to drink Coke Zero. It's northernlion. Many years ago, I've never drank any diet, anything, any Coke Zero. He's the one's like, dude, drink it. No big deal. And ever since then, I'm not saying I'm hooked, but...
Dan doesn't believe you're done with CZ? He should, honestly. First off, caffeine, addictive. But the level of caffeine in diet soda, not enough to be an effective dose.
Okay. So step 1 is it's a bit. He hasn't actually stopped CZ. Which I'll respect it. I'll respect it.
Now that's pseudoscience, but it's true because I have a sample size of 1 and it's me. And you might say, that's not a big enough sample size. Wrong. Stats 101, Andy.
Okay.
I'm doing a fucking 36-year longitudinal study.
So he set up the bit, but it's actually true. So there's a 50% chance he's off the CZ.
My sample size is 1, but the breadth of information that I have is incalculable. The bandwidth is limitless, essentially.
So is he really off it? Is he really off of it?
No, there's no diet soda. We went out for dinner last night. I'll have water, thanks. If they had some sparkling water, that would be nice, but
he's really
they
off?
oftentimes don't. Caffeine tolerance. Caffeine is a real habit, okay? But there's not enough in a Coke Zero to cause a dose response.
So is he off of it?
And I know it because as soon as I read the study, I went, well, I'm not drinking that shit anymore until I get more information. And I just fucking tanked it. And nothing changed. Nothing changed.
I'm confused. Is this a bit or is he off of it?
It's still a vice? Well, it would be. Last week I didn't think it was a vice. Now that I've seen the study, I would consent that it's plausibly
It's a bit.
vice. Is there an adjective for vice? It's vice-like?
He's worried about caffeine
It's not a
addiction.
vice? It might be a vice. If
He's
it
worried
causes
about caffeine addiction, but he just said that there's not enough caffeine in it to worry about it.
protein entanglements in your brain at an increased rate, I would consider that to be vicey.
Bro, you're really off the
Red
CZ because
wine,
of caffeine
cola, ice,
or
and a lemon
the
slice?
rat sugar
Al
poison.
Porta. Oh, dude, hit this shit.
Come on, I gotta wait for the opening.
Fucking hit this shit, bro.
Wait till Chad's gotta calm down. I gotta wait. You gotta wait for the first. You gotta wait for the chat to stop scrolling so fast. So it can't be. We can't post a joke.
All right, next beer. Not beer. Red wine, cola, ice, and a lemon slice. Alcorta. Oh, dude, hit this shit. Fucking hit this shit, bro. The tannins make you get even fucking higher. I'm not smoking any fucking Merlot. Wouldn't that be good if they were smoking wine in Sideways? I'm not smoking any fucking Merlot. Oh, man. I'm going to guess Spain because the wine bottle says product of Spain. It's Spain. Yeah, why not, man? As long as it's not a diet cola. Yo, you're really off CZ because of caffeine or rat sugar poison? You've been baited by chat on the caffeine. As I said about the caffeine in diet soda, Daniel, is not enough caffeine to trigger a dose response, at least in a body like mine. I can't speak for the diminutive waifish forms of the average chatter, but I just tank it. Like it just goes right through me like Olestra. However, there was a study published in the Journal of Neurology in early September that suggested that it actually contributes to brain aging, increased rate of brain aging in the highest, I think it was the highest decile of artificial sweetened soda drinkers. And you're going to say, well, the highest decile, how much could that be? They were averaging 1 can a day, which for you might seem like a lot, but for normal people might not be that much. That seems perfectly normal. And how much was the brain aging, just for reference? By age 60, it was 1.6 years above the average. But have you seen like the average 60-year-old's opinions? Like, I don't want to be 2.5% worse than the average 60-year-olds. I would like it, if possible, to be better. That's easily tankable. I feel like I actually feel like Dr. Bonnie Henry right now. I thought we trusted the science. We trusted the science when the scientists were telling us stuff that we liked, and now that it's stuff we don't like, we're not trusting the science? What are you talking about, man? You don't pick and choose. It's not 1.6%, it's 1.6 years, you stupid motherfuckers! It would be 1.6% if you were 100 years old and the trend held. It is 1.6 divided by 60, which is like 2.5% or something like that. You don't know math! And you're trying to say you know science, which is based on math. This is why we need to go back to the stupid people be quiet and trust the smart people. I know I'm stupid. That's why I'm trusting the smart people. You are too stupid to realize you're stupid. You think you're smart. And you're like, I'm smarter than the scientists. Did they think about this? Yeah, bro. Yeah, they thought about it. Wait for someone even smarter than the scientists who published the paper in the first place to tell you why the first scientists are stupid. You're not going to fucking solve the problem sitting on Discord going, well, did they think about this? I wonder if they considered this. I don't know. It's their fucking jobs. I think they probably considered it. You need to wait for the Ubermensch to fucking look down on the first scientists and go, they really fucked up. It's not going to be some 21-year-old kid that's procrastinating doing his Stats 101 homework, okay? You need to wait for fucking a credible scientist like Dan Ariely to come in here and say, this is why it's wrong. And then we'll be ready. Like RFK, he has a PhD in kinesiology.
Okay, so we're done with CZ.
The average 60-year-old's opinions?
I told him about fake sugar. He told me not to worry about it. 4 years ago when he got me on the CZ, he says, don't worry about it. I
That's
told him it
easily
caused
tankable.
cancer in rats, and he said, no, don't worry about it. I'm like,
feel
okay.
like I actually feel like, will you still be streaming 10 years from now? Guy who wants to go to med school but doesn't want to miss a bit. Man City 2025. Anchovies or a priceless pint of Peroni outside of the Ezio Auditore's Cathedral. I'm going to go with the priceless pint of Peroni on that one. Can I say something? I feel like by taking this picture, the photographer is trying to say something. Now, Wright's going to win. Let's start right there. But by taking this picture, the photographer is trying to say something like, look at how bad this is. It looks totally fine. It looks within what I would consider the normal upper and lower bounds of a stadium cheeseburger. Seems pretty normal to me. I think the Vindaloo's, I can't believe just the damage that I deconstructed my burger and now look how messy it looks. We're not surrounded by free thinkers, man. We're not surrounded by free thinkers. Big heads and soft bodies make for lousy lovers. You don't get it, okay? But all of a sudden it's, a waffle cone full of Korean fried chicken in England. All right, yeah, that's 70%. It's simple. Hot dog's too red. If the hot dog's too red, you got to go with the other hot dog. Meatballs and pasta. It's pretty fucking good for $2. Wait, but that's pretty fucking good for £1.15, man. Holy. This ain't that bad. I got to go with the chicken on that, but that's pretty good. Holy. Yard-long boomstick chili cheese hot dog at the MLB London series. Okay, a foot long is a lot of hot dog. A yard long is fucking crazy. And I have to go with Peruvian rotisserie half chicken with fries and ucayana cheese sauce. That's nuts, man. The fire dog at the Chicago Fire game. Jalapeno cheddar sausage. Cheddar sauce, charred tomato pepper relish, flamin' hot tortilla strips. This one's really tough. Because I feel like this would be good, but they just they shoved a little too much into the Kaiser roll, I think. I gotta go with this. It's gonna be duck wrap. Dude, it's our first flawless. What's wrong with the duck wrap, man? I couldn't believe it wasn't like 85% to 3% or something like that. The fact that it was close was crazy. Higher percentage of people with long commutes. I'm going to say Cleveland? Every commute's long when you have to bike because you have 4 DUIs. Never mind. I deserve to get nut checked for that one. I ain't ever been there. I was just raining stuff down on Ohio because I thought it would be an opportunity for an easy +2. And I paid the price. I paid the price for that. That's a Bay Area suburb, bro. Come on. Little expat bro doesn't even know about Walnut Creek, California. Read a book sometime, dumbass. That's what you sound like to me. You know shit about fucking Moose Factory. I'm from Ohio. We do have a lot of DUIs. Okay, one second. List of states sorted by number of DUIs. Well, this is confusing because the number of, I don't even want to make a joke about this, but it is interesting that the states that are the top 10 for DUI deaths are not in the top 10 for DUI arrests. Is there any difference between men and women? Not the virtue signal, but I'm going to say, yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb and say men do a little bit more drunk driving than women on average. That would be my... I'm not trying to be a pick-me. I'm just saying that's my base case. Because men usually drive the car. That's the way I grew up. I do most of the driving in my family. If we're both in the car, I'm doing most of the driving. And when we drank, I was doing most of the drinking too, but I kept them separate. I kept them 100% separate because I'm not playing around with that. You know, I don't even look at my phone when I'm driving. And the thing that gets me, Apollo, you're probably in the same boat here. When I say I don't look at my phone when I'm driving, people go, sure. They hit me with the sure emote. Like, everybody looks at their phone a little bit when they drive. No, we fucking don't, bro. No, we don't. Not even at stop signs. That's good bait. Stop signs is crazy. Not even at red lights, man. I swear. What do you do at a red light? You sing, you know, I get your pin shot, your name in lights above it. This is your big debut. It's like a dream come true. And when you smile for the camera, I know I loved you better. You wait at the light, you sing the song, and then when the light changes, you fucking drive in 0.1 second instead of 3 seconds, and then someone honks at you and you crash your car into them because you get mad. Then the shutter falls, you see it all in 3D. It's your favorite foreign movie. Yeah, people are cooked. I don't know, man. No attention span. I mean, I could fucking sit here. I could just sit here. For the next, how much longer are we live? 3 hours, 45 minutes? I could sit here with a black screen and just talk. Now, I can't because 15 minutes ago I was supposed to be playing the game for the sponsored segment. But tomorrow I could do that. And it wouldn't even be a fucking problem. It would be a fucking mitzvah for me to do something like that. It'd be the best day of my fucking life to do something like that, to just sit here and talk, to just jaw for the whole fucking stream. You wouldn't know what that's like. Oh, show me someone with a crazy manicure cutting into a hamburger that oozes cheese when they cut it in half. Please, streamer. Please. Nobody's crushed a bag of potato chips and then poured Nutella on it and put it in the oven in almost 30 seconds. I can't handle it. Please. Nobody showed me a fucked up craft that is supposed to make it easier to clean my stove, but actually no one without mental illness would ever execute on ever. Oh, please do it. You've done this voice like 5 times a day? Well, it's my impression of you, so I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing, bro. 2011 robots. 1971 in American politics. This is, okay, so this is about Watergate. The Pentagon Papers. It's not even fucking Watergate, bro. The throat goat. Deep Throat was the informant, man. What was the report? It might just be called the Watergate report, honestly. It's crazy people hate him so much, even though he literally said, I'm not a crook, man. Why are you hawing Deep Throat? This shit happened in history. You're hawing like the news from 60 years ago. Because they're all like 14 years old, Unk. No, it was 6, maybe 7 years old. More like. By the way, don't echo that in chat. The Twitch AI will ban you. They don't understand satire. It meant something else back then? No, the fuck it didn't. You got to see All the President's Men, buddy. I don't know what the hell it meant the same. Yeah, it's the name of a porno, bro. 1883 establishments in the French Congo. I'm about to type some crazy shit like Mombasa, Brazzaville. All right. I guess it probably wouldn't be a map in Halo 2, huh? Don't say Brazzaville. Now you're starting to flick me a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's a 238 degree angle. There's a 221 degree angle. 212 degree angle is boiling. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Nut the fuck out, man. 214. Oh, that was tough. I'm not proud of myself for being off by more than 20 to begin with, but geez Louise. All that matters is you get there in the end. Didn't wake up, didn't sleep. Realized I caught NL for the first time in weeks. I'm never up at this time. You didn't wake up and you didn't sleep? The type of beast to wake up this morning, have myself some fun. Mama always said I was the chosen one. Yeah, of course she would say that, Tony. She's your mom. Although now that I think about it, Livia Soprano wasn't that warm to begin with. Did you finish it? I'm going to get to it right after Uma Musume. But I can't stop winning in Uma Musume, so it's honestly kind of tough. If I was worse at Uma Musume, it would be a lot easier. But because I'm so damn good, Did you win the CM? Handily, I might add. Handily. And you know what? I don't even mean, I'm not trying to aura farm on the nerds, okay? But like, every time I showed them the horses, I showed them being the Uma Musume players in my Discord, they would hit me with something like, well, your guts are 4 below what I would consider to be an acceptable threshold. And then I would remake it with like the guts being way higher, and they would go, well, you don't have groundwork. So if but it might be a little too late for you to get, I would recommend finding a Boro with 18 stars of groundwork to give yourself a better chance to, and then I just said, this is too fucking much. It's way too much to worry about. I'm just going to send it with the horses I have, and I won. So I don't know what to tell you. Maybe if you were like better at the game, you wouldn't have to work so hard. You should try acting, my dear boy. It's easier. Laurence Olivier. Graded or open? Whatever the one with the flames coming out of it was. Which Umas did you run for CM? I picked my favorite. Actually, Kate picked them for me of the ones that I trained. But I picked ones that were pure of heart and sound of mind because they can't lose. Because you got Summer Maru. I don't have Summer Maru, bro. I don't even have all season Maru. I'm just out here. I mean, that's your problem, man. You can't serve both God and Mammon, okay? I made my choice. It's Mammon. Sorry, God. It's are you there, God? It's me, Mammon. Top 15%, man. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm still a little pissed off yesterday. Apollo, are you here? It's not your fault, okay? Well, it's your fault, and I'm going to blast you over it. How the fuck does "you're like a hot dog, M dash for me to poop on" not get a unanimous victory in the rap battle Jackbox game, Mad vs. City? Hot dog, you're like a hot dog dash for me to poop on. Why would it? Because it's wordplay. Your second line was ass. Yeah, but like, with no disrespect, my opponents, all 4 lines were ass. I think that honestly, like, that's the base case in that game, is that all 4 lines are ass. Like, only me and Apollo can rhyme. I'm going to glaze him a little bit. I don't know if we're, like, just built different, but of the 5 or 6 people that we played Jackbox with, only Apollo and I can actually rhyme. Man, it just pisses me off. Some of my joke boats were good too, man. But the problem is, I know I've been beating this drum for a while, and you keep saying, stop saying shit like that, you're going to alienate your audience, and then the view count only goes up, which means that I think many of you have a fetish known as findom, which is where you want to give money to a bully. And whether or not you're jerking off is honestly not really my business. But a lot of the audience loves to say shit like, oh, the audience didn't find it funny. Well, yeah, I guess the audience is the problem, not the comedian. But honestly, some audiences are not that smart and also have bad vibes. Sometimes the jokes are really good and the audience doesn't laugh, and it is the audience's fault, man. They didn't do the required reading to actually catch the punchline. And they're out there in the audience going, boo, dumb it down for us. Dumb it down for us so we can understand. Say that's what they used to call me in college. Say that would be a great name for a rock and roll band. Say that's what she said. Say that used to be my nickname in high school. And they don't appreciate the cerebral jokes. Hey, thanks for the gift subs, librarian, by the way. You nerd. You pathetic nerd. Pay for my DoorDash. I'm just trolling. I got it. Don't give me any money. I don't deserve it. Oh. Why is the robot bleaching his roots? Is there a chance is this Chappie? Was Chappie bleaching his roots? How do I unsee that octopus? Oh, it's Prometheus. Right? The octopus birth scene? Why is he's not a robot, Trin, he's an android! You fucked me! You fucking fucked me! David isn't a robot! David's an android! Oh, brother. What's the difference? A robot looks like a robot doesn't look like Michael Fassbender. An android looks like Michael Fassbender. David is a character I could just watch a whole movie of. That's kind of a crazy sentence. I would love to see if they did a follow-up for Alien Covenant, because that is basically a whole movie of David. Have you spoken on your favorite Joker film yet? Of the two, wouldn't be responsible. I've only seen one. The second one. Nile Rodgers asks. I think I'm gonna need a little more. This was when I was living in South Korea, so unless it's like Americano or Shy Boy, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. It's the type of shit that plays on like an Elgato tech support video teaching you how to set up your game capture HD60S HDMI 4K capture card. All right, give me some more. Give me. I need some vocals, man. I met you in the summer. I need the full Monty. Excuse me. You are always fucking up and coming for the thrill of it. You are always sucking dick and fucking just for fun of it. The thrill of it. No, I don't know this. I need verbal hints. Game pieces. It's dice. It's die. Game dices. Dies. Diesel. Am I freaking out? Game pieces marked with. Oh, okay. Dice don't have a 0. Game pieces marked with 0 to 6. I gotta give up, man. I don't even know what I would guess. Domino. That makes sense. Domino makes sense. I don't think I know this song. With God as my witness, I don't think I know this song, though. She's a UK-only celebrity. She's on Bang Bang Into the Room, right? This was big around the 2012 Olympics. And where did the 2012 Olympics take place? They're not beating the British allegations. Jessie J is not beating the only popular in England allegations. New schedule, I never get to watch live. You might have a new schedule. I was going to say there's no new schedule. That could be false. You could have a new schedule and just have phrased it in an ambiguous fashion. Daylight savings? Oh, you might be from Australia, New Zealand. Please no daylight savings. I'm not gonna okay, listen, I have to get on with the Morsels because the song is heat, man. The song is heat. But I do, it's the time of year when I start doing the daylight savings bit again. I start being like, you don't become an adult when you're 18. You don't become an adult when you're 25. You don't become an adult when you have kids. You officially move from baby to grown up when you realize, and I phrased it in such a way that you can't disagree with me without debasing yourself and looking like a baby, and that was on purpose. You move from baby to grown up when you realize that falling back is the inferior time switch and springing forward is better. When you realize that losing an hour of sleep once to get later sunsets is way better than getting an extra hour of sleep one time, which you could do yourself at any point. At any point, you could go to bed an hour early or sleep an hour longer. You don't need to wait for society to tell you to do it. You could just do it. You get 1 hour of sleep once, and in exchange, the sunset happens at 3:45 p.m. No shot, bro. Anyway, I'm gonna pretend that you all agree with me, and thus you can't argue, because I'm gonna slash marker and then get into the spiel. Wake up, honey, a new creature collecting roguelike. isn't even out yet. I don't know if it's an exclusive preview, but I'm going to say it's an exclusive preview for Northernlion Industries from Annapurna. Thank you for the sponsorship of the game known as Morsels. We're going to be playing it today, and we're going to be playing it closer to its release in November as well. Comes out November 18th on PC, Xbox, PlayStation 5, and the Switch. There's a demo up on stream during the previews that you can play along with me as well. You got to change your title and your category. I think you might be right. I think that the sponsor may not want the title of the stream to be Video Essay Alanis Morissette. Be like, isn't it coincidental? Don't you think? We'll call it Wake Up Honey, New Creature Collecting Roguelike. All right, let's get started here. I got a controller plugged in. I'm ready to play. Thank you again to Annapurna for the sponsorship. Nobody knew why they fell to Earth that day. Mystical cards sent from another galaxy. This is like when all the people started getting seeds in the mail. And then everyone was like, it must be China sending Americans invasive plants so that if they plant them, they'll take over the local ecosystem. And then investigative journalists did an investigation, and they found out that most of the people actually just ordered the seeds themselves, and then they forgot that they ordered it. And then their immediate thought when they received something that they ordered in the mail was, China's trying to take over our country via seeds. Anyway, for those under the Baron's wicked claws, all that are left now are the merest of morsels. Title character dropped. Late title drop. You play as a diminutive mouse. That's what I know about this. And that's me, the diminutive mouse. It's too late. I've already depicted you as the diminutive mouse and me as the bulbous quest giver. Mouse, take card. Much depends on you. I'll give you a hug. That's huge. Much depends on you. Okay, I'm gonna move out through here. There's my card, bro. Widzel plus Daisy. Choose your morsel. Do we want Gumsel plus cheese, or do we want Widzel plus Daisy? Do we want a piece of poop or a flower? It's tough because I poop every day, but also the Widzel plus Daisy got a little Plants vs. Zombies type thing going on. I'm gonna go Widzel plus Daisy on that one. We attack with, well, special with L2. Okay. Don't forget your special. Special abilities are replenished over time, but the quickest way to recharge them is to deal attack damage to enemies. Oh, you attack in the directions. I see. I get it now. Or with the right stick. The right stick will allow you to shoot on the diagonals a little easier. Understood. Understood. More dashing. Dude, it has like a Toe Jam and Earl aesthetic. You don't see all that much these days. What's up with the burger? Burger is giving us some cheese. We roll over. I'll embark by going into the Let's Go Porta Potty. Bill and Ted, if they had courage. It does have Plock vibes. It's a very unique visual style, for sure. What's going on? Ah! Grab it? Yeah, grab it. And then just, it's a dice, bro! All right. Oh my God! They hate me. What have I done? What did I do to deserve this? I'm gonna say we want Hogsel plus special. And we'll put that on triangle. Get me out of here. What is going on, man? Switch morsel? I don't know. I think I'm kind of chilling as this snake. I'm feeling all right as the snake, if I'm being honest. I'm feeling like I don't have that much to worry about. I also feel like next time I see the dice, I probably won't roll it right away until I learn a little bit more about what's going on. I've been killed. Get me out of here, man! This is level 1! What's going on? I want Krotzel plus Daisy. At this point, man, I think it might be necessary for you to just kill me. Because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it out. I got a little poop friend. Let's see, I got a little poop friend. You're my little poop friend. I don't give a hoot what you do, sends, cause I know. Tell me I'm gonna be next. What does he say? Well, you know, a song from the Minecraft movie, End Companion. I'm gonna be honest with you fellas. Let's get inside here and see what the heck's going on. Let's get a little break in here. I'm inside the dumpster. I don't know what I'm doing inside of the dumpster, but I'm inside of the dumpster. I'm using my special. I'm taking a little bit of damage. I think I've been killed. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is an abandon, and then I've learned my lesson. For the love of God, do not roll the dice on the first run. We were figuring it out. We had a little we were doing some nuclear throne type stuff, and after I rolled the dice, all hell broke loose. Special reloaded. I'm doing no damage to you. Any chance the way I kill you is by getting you to drop your attack on yourself. The man is non-stop. He might be a genius. Gamers these days, they wouldn't know, man. I guess I gotta put my credit card in somewhere. Tickets, please! Local supermarket decroded. Supermarket on a road trip. Mystical, ethereal. I'm gonna be real with you, Samurai NX. That's the funniest thing that I think, and the realest shit I think anyone's ever written in this chat. What is it that's so nice about going to a grocery store or a movie theater in a city where you don't live? Like when I was a kid, my parents, they're homebodies, okay? We didn't really go on exotic vacations, so we lived in a town called Kingston. For vacation, we would oftentimes drive an hour away to a town called Belleville, which is literally just Kingston but smaller. And I was always, as a kid at least, I was so excited to go to the movie theater in Belleville, which was just like the same as the movie theater in Kingston, but like the concession stand was in a different spot. But it was something about it, man. Or like when you're like in middle school or high school and you're shopping with your parents in a city, but nobody knows you in the city, you're like, oh, I could do a fresh start here, man. Woo! I'm about to make a name for myself. Lord knows how long I've been waiting for this. You're like making eye contact with all the people your age that are in the store because they don't know that you're a nerd. You're like, they might think I'm really... Chay, you know what I haven't had in forever that I think would go crazy right now? Or like at any time? Dairy Queen ice cream cake. I don't know what happened, man. It used to be a birthday party classic. I always liked it. You got the bottom layer of the cookie crumb. You got the middle, which I think is other cookie crumbs, and you got the top, which is vanilla ice cream. Kids these days are not having that at their birthday party. I don't know if I'll be honest with you. It might be part of the world that I live in. The part of the world that I live in, I should say. And I apologize going hands-on head banter mode here. Annapurna, if you're watching, I apologize for going hands-on head mode. So I've held a few kids' birthday parties because my kid has birthdays. And I've been to a lot of kids' birthday parties because they're at that age. 5-year-old's birthday party, they invite like the whole class. A lot of parents out there, and I understand why. I don't think it makes them bad parents, but a lot of parents out there are not letting their kids eat essentially any sugar at all. All the snacks have to be made good, organic, simple ingredients, probiotics, etc., etc. So they're not doing the Dairy Queen ice cream cakes anymore, and it's flicking me because the kids, they can't make informed choices. But as an adult, I feel like I can make an informed choice, and I want to have the ice cream cake, and then I'll just ride the bike later. My kid's eating Taco Bell tonight. I'll be real with you, we let our kid eat a little junk. I subscribe. I'm not saying I'm the only guy. I mean, you want your kids to not be screwed because of the health choices that you made normal for them when they were not old enough to make the decisions themselves. But I subscribe to the idea that kids should be allowed to eat a little bit of fun food. Ice cream, a little bit of candy, some stuff that's literally just pure sugar. I don't even mind that much. I mean, the goldfish crackers are a staple. I don't even know if I would call those junk food. I'm eating those. I'm for real eating more of them than my kid is. Every doctor just wants you to practice moderation. Reddit moderation. I gotta be honest with you. Blind Salamander, you're on your redemption arc right now. You were nothing but a common Twitch troll, not but a week or two ago. But now you're starting to develop I would call it a more interesting kind of character arc. I'm never gonna tell somebody they can't become a reformed Twitch chatter. That's not for me to say. If anything, I think you've got more of a chance for reform here than in a lot of other places, man. People here sometimes will still get like unban requests that are like, sorry, I wrote some horrible stuff when I was 12. Can I be unbanned? And then I go, yeah, I'll give you another chance. You were 12. But the mods are going, no! Don't do it! But then like, they type some more horrible stuff. You go, bop, bop, and I'll do it again. People really don't change. I'll go out on a limb and say you change a little bit between the age of 12 and adulthood. Yeah. I'm gonna take a radical viewpoint that you're probably not the same person you were when you were 12. But I also know that there's a double standard, which is that we think that we've changed a lot since we were kids, but we also assume that other people have no capacity for change. Well, way to go, you distracted me, now I gotta be this guy. Like, everybody always assumes that, like, their middle school bully is, like, exactly the same as they were when they were giving you a wedgie in the 6th grade, and even though, like, they have aged, they've literally lived, like, their entire adult life since then, you're like, no, they're still my enemy, man. They're still my enemy. Once again, this is sponsored by Annapurna. We're taking an early look at Morsels. There is a demo available, ! Morsels. You can check it out for yourself. The full game, which we will be playing closer to its release, comes out November 18th. PC, Xbox, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch. Is it coming to GameCube? I can't say that. I got in trouble for saying that once. Now I try to be a little bit more literal when I say what platforms a game is coming to. I don't think I necessarily have to say who, but let's just say one sponsor was not thrilled when I said it was when I said that the game was out on the Nintendo Game Boy Advance, which I thought was clearly a joke because the Game Boy Advance was released in 2002 or something like that. But they didn't find it as humorous, and they wanted me to edit that part out, which was fine. It was not Nintendo, but I can understand why you would make that assumption. Wait, there's actually people that watch the sponsor stuff to make sure it goes well? No, not always. You know the classic Twitter meme where it's like, it's from the artist's perspective, and it's like, $50 commission. Wow, looks great. Thanks so much. No, wait, I did it backwards. Ah! Restart me. This is a disaster. And it's like a $50 commission. Could you please like increase the size of the upper lip on this character, and also I want the ears to be pointed at a 27-degree angle instead of pointed up at a 32-degree angle, and I think you could just, if you could completely redo the color palette, that would be nice. And then it's $50,000 corporate client. Looks good, invoice paid. It's kind of like that, but it's actually the exact opposite of that. Without making enemies, and I understand how it goes. A lot of the indie sponsorships are like, hey, play our game, and then sometimes they want you to play a AAA game. You play the AAA game, they're like, please send us a spreadsheet of the city that people watch this video from. And you just, in your head, you're like, this can't be relevant information. They're gonna be like, oh, this game isn't playing that well in San Antonio, but people who are from like Tallinn, Estonia are big fans of it. Like, that's I just can't believe that information would actually be actionable. But a couple nasty lines on my way back home from work. I made it in record time. That's legit. I had a great Peloton ride this morning, and honestly, I was waiting for somebody to be like, why was your Peloton ride so good? And I was just gonna say, I don't know, I just hit a patch of light air. That's really what it felt like. 60 minutes into the ride, it felt like the air got thinner. Like I was in like a jet stream or something like that, even though I was on a stationary bicycle. I don't know how to describe it except the air got thinner, and it was the golden path. Can I tell you, by the way, you guys might think in public NL doesn't pass the vibe check. I'm gonna tell you, this is really bad for me. 100% I passed the vibe check. And you may not believe this story because we live in a low trust society these days, but I'm telling you, this 100% happened. After the stream, I was so freaking hungry, but I didn't have time to get much for lunch, because then like by the time I would get something for lunch, my kid would be home from school, I'd be on the clock, right? So I went to a By the Slice pizza place, the fastest place you can possibly eat at in the world as an adult. I got 2 slices of pizza. I was sitting there in the restaurant eating them, and I was the only person in the restaurant except for the worker. I swear to you, after like 3 or 4 minutes, the worker came out with one of the warming bags and said, hey, can you chill here for a minute? I'm gonna leave the store to make a delivery. I should be back in 5 or 10 minutes. And it was honestly one of the greatest compliments I think you can receive as a man in middle age. The dude looked at me and said, I can rely on this guy to, if something happens here, at least we got a guardian. I don't know if he's expecting me to actually take the slices and put them in the warmer and then use the Monera's point of sale machine or whatever, but I said, no problem, go ahead. Imagine if the place got robbed. That would be like a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. I left the pizza place in your hands, Larry. In your hands. You agreed. The pizza was good too, man, I gotta say. This has been Morsels, by the way. Oh my God, if he came back in a ski mask and robbed his own shop. Yes, dude, that's a great skit. I'm leaving the store, can you look after it for a minute? Then he comes back and robs it. And then you're like, okay, take the money. And then you disarm him and you point the gun at him. And then he takes the mask off and he's the pizza shop owner. And then he points to you and you point to him and you go, you son of a bitch, I knew it was you the whole time. Could be good. And then he's like, you're hired. Yeah. All this because of the wheat field? It's kind of crazy to think you could be talking about like human civilization, man. All this because we invented agriculture? Kind of crazy to think about. I mean, they were crazy for doing the Neolithic Revolution, man. I don't know what they were on with that one. Thoughts on the Cretaceous? I know the Cretaceous is like forever salty that they called the movie Jurassic Park. I'm sorry, Cretaceous Park might have had a chance, but if you're the Mesozoic, just shut up, bro. The movie was never going to be called Mesozoic Park, okay? It's never going to happen. Just doesn't. The movie-going populace in 1994 didn't know how to say the word. I'm still waiting for Cambrian Park. I don't fuck with the Cambrian, man. I hate all those little diatoms and shit. Honestly, bold take. We could probably use like a little less unicellular life. Cambrian is when eyes evolved. I literally don't care. We could have been like the octopus and just evolved our own. I could, at least. I can't speak for you. You'd probably ask someone to do it for you. I'm sick of unicellular life, bro. Okay, a bit conceited there. Honestly, maybe that's part of our problem with society. People are always saying stuff like, oh yeah, well maybe the world would look better if amoebas were in charge. Yeah, I don't think so, bro. They literally eat brains. If you want to be in the amoeba civilization, go ahead. Me and the rest of society, we're going to stay here in parkour civilization. Your proteins are all folded weirdly. That's not okay to say. Also, there's no proof of that. Also, I was a noted diet soda enjoyer, but the diet soda period of my life was actually quite short. It's basically like from when we got a Costco membership in 2021 to 2025. That's not so. I wasn't drinking many diet sodas in university or in Korea because they cost money. So, sorry to say, I might beat the allegations on the tau protein tangles. That's my hope, at least. Now, my brain is probably aging at a faster rate than the average person simply because I read Twitch chat, I don't know, like 5 hours a day roughly, but then also sometimes I'm a member of Twitch chat, which might even be worse for your brain. That being said, it also keeps you young, it also keeps you hip, so I'm not 100% sure that that's a negative. Heard you were getting the Steam Deck, it's a great device. So can I tell you, I have approximately 1 Steam Deck's worth of funds in Steam right now. I asked online, I asked you guys, should I get a Steam Deck? Everyone said, oh my god, yes. It's the greatest gaming device that's ever been invented. It's awesome on the Peloton, etc., etc. I have one friend, IRL, who has a Steam Deck. I said, do you have a Steam Deck? He said, yeah. I said, how do you like it? And he said, honestly, I'm not that impressed with the battery life. I find myself just using my phone and my Switch more. And then I said, maybe I won't get a Steam Deck. But I don't know what I'm gonna do with that much money in my Steam account if I don't get a Steam Deck, you know? I will say, he has the first model. And he mentioned that as well. He was like, I have the first model, and that might be part of my problem. I could buy some eggs and Road to Empress, you're not wrong. New ones have better battery life, okay. But I was thinking, like, maybe it would actually suck on the Peloton, because it's like a touchscreen and I'd be getting so sweaty. And like, phones can sort of handle it. They get a little grody, but they can handle it, but I'm not sure about the Steam Deck. I'm not saying it can't, I'm just saying I'm not sure. Apparently you and Lud are going viral in China right now because of your Road to Empress videos. That's kind of sick. Shout out Billy A if you're watching this on Billy right now. Shay for watching. I love my Chinese viewers. It's funny, like, so most of the other parents, when they're like, what do you do? And I tell them what I do, they're surprised. They go like, whoa, that's super unusual. That's something I've like never heard of before. Then there was one dad at a birthday party, and I hit him with like what I do, and he was like, oh yeah, I get that. My brother is really famous on Billy. He gets paid like so much money to do these streams on Billy. I was like, oh damn. I didn't feel mogged, I was more like, that's sick. Finally I don't have to hit you with the explanation of what it is. I would love to learn Chinese, to be honest, like Mandarin, probably. Let's be honest, I'd probably do a little more research before I chose, because I'm not 100% sure the use case of Mandarin versus Cantonese. Either one would go crazy, for sure, to roll up into the shop and then just hit him with either. But I think I'd more love to know it than have to learn it. I love learning things. The thing that they try to trick you with is, for many things, learning the thing is more fun than knowing the thing. It can be more fun to learn something than to just know it, but I feel like Cantonese and Mandarin might be the exception to the rule on that one. Your sponsored stream worked on me. I bought a Patagonia quarter zip fleece. Honestly, listen, I don't know clothes that well. I don't know if you can get a cheaper quarter zip with the same level of quality, but it's a very workman-like piece of attire. In the fall, the winter, and the early spring, you can rock it as a jacket. You can rock it as a main piece of clothing. You could use it like easily 2 to 3 times a week, and no one would ever complain. Also, the quarter zip has a, and I'm not saying it's fair. There's a double standard, perhaps. If you wore the same quarter zip 2 times in 1 week, people would go, why are you bringing that up? It's a quarter zip. It's a layer. It goes on top of stuff. But if you wore the same sweater 2 times in 1 week, some nosy little Randall at your office is going to say some shit like, didn't you already wear that sweater this week? And what's messed up is no one would come to your aid, even though it's a disingenuous sort of comment. But that's just the way. You can change the world, and that's honorable, or you can just try to survive it, and I think that's what most of us are doing. So that's why I'm on the quarter zip, to be honest with you. I'm coughing from the damn bit. No, Anon, don't inhale. It doesn't do anything. I don't see. That's a meme I don't understand. Because maybe I'm working on old knowledge here. This is old head knowledge. I feel like holding it in does something. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Now, I'm not speaking from a ton of experience, but Because you always talk to somebody. It's the same person that'll say some shit like, yeah, I don't know, I just don't get hangovers. And then you're like, well, you're probably not drinking as much as people that do. And they're like, no, I've measured it. I'm drinking the exact same amount every single time. I just don't get them. I guess I'm just like a superhero or something. And then you go out with them and they have like a beer and a half and they go to bed at 11 and they wake up the next day like, see, not hungover. You know the type of stuff I'm talking about? You'll always have somebody that's like, yeah, I tried it once. But it like, I guess, I don't know, for some reason it like didn't work on me. And then you see them and they take the hit and breathe it out in like one motion. It's like it barely even enters their mouth, much less their lungs, much less their bloodstream, man. Like it's just, did you meet this guy in 05? Yeah, that's where I met most guys, man. It's like Chiblee saying blue balls aren't real. I don't want to go through the argument again, because people are saying the argument gives them bad vibes. Blue balls are real, though. Like, it's like Kevin Costner in Waterworld, man. Dry land is not a myth. I've seen it. That doesn't mean you can't take care of it yourself, but they're real. Are the blue balls in the room with us right now? Look, if you've never had them, that's fine, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist, okay? I think it takes a special sort of, like, wasn't that the Chiblee discussion? Is it possible to give yourself blue balls? Okay, yes, they don't turn blue. There's an old wives' tale that, like, they turn blue because they're, like, engorged with blood or something like that. That's not the case. Blood is red. If anything, they would be called red balls. Doesn't even make any sense. I think it would be tough to give yourself blue balls. I think blue balls can only happen in a situation where you were like, I'm ready to race my car. And then 3/4 of the way through someone waving the starting flag, your mom comes home. And you're like, I can't race my car. My parents came back early from the grocery store. I gotta take the keys out of the ignition and go change my oil or something. And then your car, like the gas tank of your car, I don't know automobile stuff that well. Your spark plugs would probably hurt a little bit because they expected like they were gonna race. They expected that they were gonna be shooting sparks into the fuel to cause the combustion to happen to generate some forward momentum, you know? For me, it was racing 3 times in one day without knowing beforehand. Can I say so? And I don't mean this to be, I'm not discounting your experience. I think for you, that's not blue balls. I think your balls are tired. I think that's like delayed onset muscle soreness in your balls. Your balls have been working too hard. That's a similar kind of pain, but a different origin story. Your balls were like Michael Clark Duncan in The Green Mile. They were trying to hit you with the I'm tired, boss. Unfortunately for your balls in that situation, though, oftentimes they don't start to hurt until after the deed's already done. You should have made them hurt before the deed was done if you didn't want the deed to be done. We still talking about cars here? The quad laser ball. Oh, I meant false start 3 times in one day? That's rough. I've never been in that. One's bad enough, man. One's bad enough. It's real. Now, I know that it has been used as an excuse for untoward, ungentlemanly behavior, okay? Now, I'm not justifying that. That being said, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Blue balls are real, although they don't turn blue. Bigfoot is real, even though his feet aren't that big. That's true. That's a great argument. Someone said if they don't turn blue, it's not blue balls, but they call them Bigfoot. But the dude's feet are just like, they're about the size you would expect them to be for a creature that large. His feet are proportional to the rest of his body. You would really think that a creature named Bigfoot would be like a head on top of like a fucking huge foot. And that ain't what it is, man. That ain't what it is at all. Any other questions about male health? I got lots of pearls of wisdom about being a man. First, I have to do it because doctors don't want to fuck with you until you're like 58 years old, and then they just want to like make fun of your lifestyle choices. Well, you didn't want to fucking see me until I was old. Of course shit's broken, man. The other one, and I saw someone ask about it in chat, I was going to bring it up independently. I probably shouldn't say this because it's irresponsible. But unfortunately, it's also irresponsible to not tell the truth. So I'm going to tell the truth to you. Yes, sometimes your chest just hurts. Now, please, if you're watching this in the future and I've died of an undiagnosed heart condition, just forget I ever said this, because I'm speaking from experience. But that experience could be, I don't know, maybe I've got like a botched valve or something in there. But they teach you when you're alive on planet Earth, they're like, no amount of chest pain is normal. I'm here to tell you, a little bit of chest pain is normal. And I know why they say no amount is normal, because they don't want to be the person that's like, oh, that's normal, and then you die of a heart attack. But if we're being honest, the vast majority of chest pain is not a heart attack. That being said, if you're use your judgment. Legally, for liability reasons, I have to say, any amount of chest pain, you should go to the hospital immediately, okay? And you shouldn't take medical advice from streamers. But my chest hurts now and then. I'm still here. The end. Then fade to black over the camera. Northernlion died of a myocardial infarction 3 minutes after his stream ended. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. That's what I want played at my funeral. Don't actually do that. Play some shit that's good. Guys, can I be... This is like my trauma dumping after getting gaslit in Jackbox. Why were all the dudes yesterday... I guess I'm asking for an honest opinion. Why were all the dudes yesterday talking like it would be awesome to come crazy style? It might be awesome to come crazy style, but I think if you were with someone and they came crazy style and it came out of their penis, you would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like if you unleashed like a fire hose or something like that, I think they'd be like, what the fuck is going on? You're a fucking freak. There's people into that? I'm talking about the mean person, okay? The median person, I should say. 2 times volume would be impressive, right? I think it's one of those things that maybe like as a guy you care about, but like your partner probably doesn't give a fuck, or maybe would just prefer if it was like a normal amount. That's just my guess. I'm not saying I'm a source on it, because I'm asking for people's opinions on it, but I don't know, my partner would be into it. So I think you phrased it, it's weird, okay? And here's why it's weird. You phrased it as if it's a hypothetical. If you came crazy style, your partner who does exist already would be into it. But the way you phrased it and said as, I don't know, my partner would be into it, is like they don't exist, but if they existed, they would love if I came crazy style. It was like you phrased it almost as if you had a fetish for having a partner who has a fetish for producing a lot of semen. It was like a second order fetish. You tell the story about the size of your grapefruit balls yet? It was just the one ball. It wasn't as big as a grapefruit. It was as big as a lemon. And that's me being literal, not putting any extra sauce on it, which is why they had to remove the hydrocele. But it wasn't even the ball. It was the scrotum got big. The ball itself just happened to be there as well. Worst part of the hydrocele was like the recovery for sure. Like the surgery I was knocked out for, but ripping the bandages off sucked pretty bad. The second worst part was when I was getting diagnosed. I went to get my ultrasound, and the ultrasound technician was the mom of a kid who went to my high school. So that, you know, like, I know there's like doctor-client privilege, but at the same time, you also know there's no shot. That's not coming up at dinner time. Doctor-client privilege, I don't think that extends to their immediate family. You just... at the dinner table, they say something like, you're not going to believe this, by the way, don't tell anybody. Because if you tell somebody, I might be in trouble. But as long as you don't tell anybody, it's all good. Violating HIPAA over pot roast? It's not a HIPAA violation if it's your husband, your wife, or your kids. It's that simple. And you might say, what about your parents? Well, you got to draw the line somewhere. It literally is, but it isn't. Yeah, exactly. So you get it. You get it. Let's go vampire ball. Do you lose HIPAA rights when you die? I honestly have no idea, but can I say something that's really going to piss you off? If I die an untimely death, I'm gonna make it known that my wishes are that my cause of death never gets released. You might say, why? Because fuck you, that's why. You know why I know that pisses you off? Because every time a celebrity or someone I know of dies at a young age, number one thing you're thinking is, what happened? I gotta know what happened. It's in the public's interest to know what happened. You nosy fucking messy drama queens. If that shit happens to me, nuh-uh. Pay wallet. Pay wallet. Still no cause of death? If it happens suddenly, I'm telling you straight up, bet the house on car crash. If I was starting to look a little fucked up on stream, but you know, the bookies will change the odds a little bit in advance. But right now, untimely, we're talking car crash. Nothing else seems super likely. I mean, you could always have some freak accident, undiagnosed medical condition or something like that. Pretty low risk of a drug overdose, I would say, unless they find out that there's lead in bubbly, which would be pretty bad. A lot of chat about dying today. I literally talk about dying for like 25% of every stream. You're not a real viewer. Even worse than dying, I talk about how like nobody will remember any of us, and also like who gives a fuck, and you'll be forgotten forever. And everybody seems to. I hate the millennial doomerism of like, well, we're probably part of the last generation of humans anyway, the way things are going. But like, what if we're not, bro? What if we're like 0.001% of the way into human civilization and we think we're living in the future, but actually we're only scratching the surface of existence. In that case, being born like 100,000 years from now would be cool, because you would have so much more history to learn, bro. Our history kind of sucks. It doesn't even go back that far. It goes back to the start of like writing or some shit. But like apart from that, there ain't even that much, man. There ain't even that much there. I don't know, I'm just a big believer in the iron ball. Hello, Chigley, by the way, hello. Sorry I had to bounce because I was having a good time in chat. And then one person in your chat said, please invite this other streamer to Jackbox. And I got nothing against that other streamer. But I was just like, I can't be in chat. No wonder people get an alt. I'm in my damn downtime. It's like 9 p.m. All of a sudden, people are they're talking to me like a booking agent. I don't even know the next time we're gonna play Jackbox. I've never spoken to this person in my life before. Plus, these days, before you invite anybody to any collaboration, you've got to scroll through everything they've ever said ever online. Plus, I'd never heard of him. Yeah, who is this Mr. Beast fella? Seems like a wholesome guy. Gives a lot of money to charity. Can I say something without it being properly construed as an insane statement? Do I think that Mr. Beast is evil? Not necessarily. I think that Mr. Beast is the apex predator of a culture that focused exclusively on social media and getting the bag for like 15, 20 years. And like, what do you expect? If you create an environment like that, you're gonna get some organisms that thrive in that system. So I see him as a product of the system and as a reflection of the system. I don't know, as a human being, I don't know if he's evil or not evil. But I would be so much more interested in his content if he, instead of being like evil adjacent, if he was actually so evil. Because he, with his production values and budgets and ideas, could make some awesome evil videos. Like some Stephen King or like the Running Man style, straight up, like god-awful evil content that would be so fucking watchable. He could be Jigsaw, man. He could be Jigsaw. Jigsaw with the budget, yeah. I always think about, and I get, he's like 24 or whatever. I always think about the Mr. Beast interview where he's like, I can't go out to eat dinner with my girlfriend because every hour I don't work is like $200,000 I could have made. And I was like, buy a bond, man. Buy some fixed income, and then you can still get paid a little bit while you're at dinner. You're chilling. Didn't he put people in a burning building? No shot. Wait, really? Maybe I gotta subscribe to Mr. Beast. Nobody got hurt, right? It's 5 people entombed at all times. It is. So I haven't seen much Mr. Beast content, but I do love the idea he would like wake up in the morning, pour like a cup of coffee, and then be like, "What's on the to-do list today? Let's check on the dude who's supposed to stay in his house for 9 months to get $500,000. Let's record like the sponsored spot for the dude who's been in the tomb for 4 days." Like it's so fucking funny to think about like what a day in the life of Mr. Beast would be like. He's got like 9 video projects going at the same time. The humane conditions on Beast games are pretty bad. Yeah, but that's just like, you know, I'm not excusing it. I'm saying he should get more evil if he wants me to watch his content. Because, like, I don't really care to watch a video, and, like, in the video, they're like, "This is awesome," but behind the scenes, they're like, "You can't have any water." They should film the behind the scenes and release that. And then, like, they could just tell me who won the Beast games. I don't really care. My mom became a first grade teacher because she got bored. Your mom might actually be a hero. I think anybody that teaches, well, like, this is rude. If you teach kids between like kindergarten and 12th grade, I look at you like you're a firefighter. I basically see you as a hero that's holding society up. You have to be a different type of beast to be like a kindergarten teacher. I think you got to be a different type of beast to teach like the 8th grade. I think you got to be a different type of beast to teach like the 6th grade. We know like some of the, like if you teach like 3rd grade, you're still a hero. But like, that's just like, those are just kids, man. But if you teach like the 9th grade, you're on the fucking front lines of the next generation, man. I teach 7th grade, it's hell on earth. Especially they still got you teaching sex ed, or did RFK get rid of all of that? I can't imagine. I was like 12 getting taught sex ed in the 7th grade. I can't imagine being an adult and trying to teach a room of 13-year-olds like about the menstrual cycle and shit like that. Be a fucking disaster, man. Yeah, we did the write down a naughty word on a piece of paper, then come up to the front of the class, close your eyes, grab a piece of paper, and read it out loud without laughing, which someone is, or maybe the teachers were in on the joke, but is easily like one of the funniest fucking tasks that you can do in school. I think maybe the teachers were just like, they thought it was funny to, like a room of 13-year-olds to say like clitoris and shit like that. Maybe they were just laughing. Teacher scolded me for laughing that day. What's crazy is that clitoris is like a funny word and I'm 36. Cock is a funny word. That's why you say it when you're telling a joke. Penis is a funny word because it sounds like a Greek god or something like that. The Greek god of cumming, penis. Like these are funny words. Well, one thing I'll tell you, 7th grade teachers, no disrespect, there's probably many of you in chat. I'll leave the teaching to you, you leave the comedy to me, okay? I'm gonna teach a class, and if they don't laugh, I'm gonna fail them. I'm gonna be like, you didn't laugh at that shit? Why didn't you laugh at that shit? Oh, I didn't think it was the time or the place. F, it's funny as fuck, sorry. You would get one guide so often? In school, like by the kids? I don't think so. Now dealing with the parents, I don't really know anything about that. If you give me a second, I got, how much stone? I got 5 stone. That's why, like, if I'm being honest with you, I kind of just trust my daughter's teachers. Like, I don't know if you have kids, you might be able to relate to this, if your school system's kind of similar to what we got going on over here. But like, when I was a kid, and I'm not saying this is the right way, but when I was a kid, you went to school, you came home, your mom said, "What'd you learn in school today?" You said, "Fucking nothing." And then you went on with your life. And your parents got an update on your progress maybe 2 times a year at parent-teacher assemblies, which, especially as you got older, you got nervous as fuck for. But now that my daughter's in school, she's in kindergarten, essentially, and I get like all these emails. Here's the updates with what's happening today. Here's a progress report on this and this and this. And if I'm being honest with you, I know Kate looks at them, which is good, because that gives me the luxury to say what I'm about to say. I don't open them. And it's the reason I don't open them is because I'm not like a teacher. You're the teacher, so I feel like you know what you're doing. You got hired for a reason. You're a pro at teaching the kids. You're a pro at managing the kids. All I could do by opening it up is fuck the whole process up. I'll look at it and be like, whoa, I was a little bit concerned about her penmanship on the work that she did today. Are you guys have you looked at the method of penmanship that they've been teaching about in the periodicals lately? I'm not like that. I'm like, I trust that you are doing what you think is best, because I mostly think the best of people, and I'll send you on your way. Financial advisor, I really like my financial advisor. That's a different situation. He will try to sell you mutual funds because they have an incentive-based pay structure. And then I say, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep buying these Vanguard ETFs. And he goes, that's sensible. It's not for me. You know, I don't go into my doctor's office and go, hey, what's Wegovy all about? I go into my doctor's office and she goes, what are you doing here? You're a 36-year-old man. We're not fucking with you, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Whoa, diet soda, tau protein tangles, rising rates of colorectal cancer among millennials of a certain age. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see you till you're 52 years old. Then I fucking guarantee, when I'm 52, I'm going to walk in there and she's going to be like, your shit is fucked. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you fucking say anything? Oh my God, it's too late. You're done. You're done, man. You're done. Oh, wait. It says here you're not 52, you're 49. Get the fuck out of here, bro. We don't want to see you. We don't want to see you yet. Come back in 3 years, bitch. I have the trauma from the Salmonella Campylobacter before. I was telling Kate, I remember when I went to the emergency room for like the 3rd time, and they were like, why are you here? And I was like, I have diarrhea 12 times a day, and I have for a month, and I feel like I'm dying. And they're like, oh, okay, maybe we'll get you an IV. And then my body sucked up the IV in like 3 seconds, and the nurse went, wow, you must have been feeling pretty bad, huh? Motherfucker. He's just making conversation, but it wasn't the time, man. It was, of course I was feeling bad, that's why I was there, bro. It's so fucked up that it's food poisoning too. Because it was really, really bad, but whenever I tell people it's food poisoning, they're always like, oh, I had that once. That's true. At Vancouver emergency rooms, they do see people way more fucked up than me. That's true. That being said, I don't know if to put it in Darkest Dungeon terms, I don't know if I was on death's door, but they moved me out of position too, let's put it that way. I did see, by the way, this comment almost stunlocked me out of the story, which probably would have been better, but it said, is death by snoo snoo the most Reddit comment ever? The answer is no, but it's yes if it's followed by someone posting the gif of Katniss Everdeen saying, I volunteer. It's pretty close. It's up there, yeah. Up there is a good way to describe that. If someone replies with the I volunteer, what about Futurama gifs? I would say most Reddit Futurama gif is shut up and take my money. This is not a gif, but most Reddit wholesome quirk chungus Futurama comment is with blackjack and hookers. Putting with blackjack and hookers at the end of every sentence. Let's make our own subreddit with blackjack and hookers. Reddit API changes, we'll make our own Reddit. And then the next comment, with blackjack and hookers. Come on, man. What about I don't want to live on this planet anymore? I think there's some situations where that's appropriate, but sometimes people be posting that shit for like celebrity news or something. And I'm like, you could just turn your phone off, man. You don't need to like go move to Jupiter or something just because you don't like some shit that Sydney Sweeney did. You could just like not read like celebrity gossip, I guess. Or the Watchmen panel. Okay, yeah. I forget what Rorschach says. Like, this man are sick. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The other thing, and I hear it twice a week because it's on the Peloton playlist. I always think about what it must have been like for John Lennon when he wrote Happiness is a Warm Gun. Because the song starts really strong. She's not a girl who misses much. And you're like, okay, John, great start. Great start. I'm getting the metaphor already. Come on, you got me vulnerable. Now hit me with something right to the core. Do 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 do. Oh yeah. You motherfucker. You didn't know what the fuck you were talking about, bro. Like, oh, you don't have another line to go after that? The second line of the song is do-do-do-do-do-do, oh yeah? She's well acquainted with the touch of the velvet hand like a lizard on a window pane. See, that's fucking imagery, bro. That's a great fucking line. Where was that shit when you said do-do-do-do-do-do, oh yeah? She's well acquainted with the touch of the velvet hand like a lizard on a window pane. Ooh. Starting to think that those Beatles boys kind of knew what they were doing in the songwriting department. I was also thinking of I don't know if it's Gen Z at this point. I don't know when we make the crossover from using Gen Z as the automatic generation to Gen Alpha. But let's just for now, and if you're Gen Z, which you probably are, don't get mad. Gen Z Pearl Jam, and it would be like, I'm still not unalive. Oh yeah, I'm still not unalive. You know, you kind of do it yourself from there. I'm not saying it's the best bit I've ever come up with. Ghibli, you don't have to answer this. It's kind of a fucked up thing to spring on someone. You ever have that happen? Does that happen in New Zealand, or is there like a humidity difference? Sometimes your balls disappear into your abdomen a little bit. And you gotta kind of like, I mean, they fall out, but you kind of gotta like move a little bit to make it happen. Yes, man. Nobody's talking about this fucking shit, man. Nobody's talking about this shit. Fall out? Well, they kind of like tumble out of your abdomen, because that's not where your balls are supposed to be. But they have like, they kind of got like a, I don't even know what you call it, like a back door that they can use to get up in there. They got like a ventilation ducts. Tumble is crazy. What would you use as a word for something falling down in an uncontrolled fashion that's a little goofy? I think tumble is the most perfect word you could possibly use for that. The only thing that makes them not tumble is the fact that they're also held by the epididymis, right? But then, like, at that point, we're getting way too specific with the verbiage. Shut the fuck up. You're not well acquainted with the touch of the velvet hand like a lizard on a motherfucking window pane. Or Mahjong. Hell of a game. I'm on a fucking heater in Mahjong. I'm almost adept 3, Ghibli. I'm almost adept 3 in Mahjong. I also played a crazy East game where, like, at first somebody won with, like, I don't even know how many points the hand was, but they were up to like 45,000 or something like that, and then they started hitting the smug emotes, and then we were on like East 1 for like 6 hands, and then somebody else started winning, and there was like a 45,000, 39,000, and then one dude was at like 3,000 points, and then that dude started sucking off the dude with 40,000 when he was the dealer. And I was just sitting there like, guys, come on, can't we be chill? I was sitting there at 25. After all the chaos happened, I fucking won the last hand. The first hand I'd won the entire like hour-long match. I got like 28,200 points and came in first. Just because I hadn't victimized or been victimized the whole time. It's just that easy. All simple to-Dora, I'm afraid. It's gotta suck. Sucks to suck. Yeah, one dude had a Baimon. Ricci or no? I'm a Ricci head. I don't know how to play the other one. Anyway, I'm gonna send you over to my wife's stream. Sounds cool to be old. It's honestly not that bad. Young people are always saying some shit like it's fucked up to be a young person these days. And then they're like, how does it like to be old? And I'm like, you should try it sometime, man. Ain't that bad. People show you a little bit of respect, mostly. Older people call you young man the older you get. The older you get, people start saying shit like young man to you. It's a fucked up world we live in, Ghibli. Anyway, good night, y'all. got a lifetime plan. Doesn't that sounds, if you put that shit in Japanese, people would be like, this is the new plastic love.